so far away.
Well, hey, it's right in our...
Oh. You're going to do a puppet show?
I'm flying by the end.
I never use that. Recycle. On his way to Cleveland from Detroit. Are you ready yet? Okay. We'll begin in just a moment. We're adjusting some technology here. If everybody would check your seats, we had shop with the cop and we noticed some of the seats, of course, are different heights, which is understandable. They had a good time, as they should.
I thought there was going to be a
If there's a star under your chair, you get to take home the centerpiece.
My toes touch, thanks about it. Thank you. As always,
You ready? The Village of Hainesville special meeting of the Zoning Board will now come to order on January 13th, 2015, Tuesday at 7:04 p.m. First, I'd like to ask for a roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustees Darnowski.
Here.
Kreese.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Daly.
Here.
And Hine. Here. Trustee Beard is absent.
Trustee Barrett called me this afternoon. He's been detained by his employer. He's on his way to Cleveland from Detroit. So we wish Kevin safe travels and a safe trip home. Could I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darnowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Hine. Motion carried.
Okay, this is in follow-up from the public hearing that we had on the medical cannabis facilities for our municipal code in regards to zoning. And we have a fact of findings report, or finding of facts report. Jim, did you want to offer any comments?
Sure. As you suggest, there's a findings of fact. We had a public hearing on this matter on December 9th, 2014. This document summarizes that public hearing, and also at the end of the document on pages 2 and 3 lists 3 findings of fact. And it would be my recommendation that we read those findings of fact into tonight's record, and then have a motion to adopt the findings of fact and make a recommendation to the board. And if you would like, I'd be glad to read those findings of fact.
Do you want them read or just accepted as printed?
You know, I think for the sake of the audience, it wouldn't hurt to read them, and for those out in the viewing public to have them read in.
Okay, go ahead.
The first finding of fact is that due to enactment by the state of the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Pilot Program Act, there is a public need for the proposed zoning ordinance text amendment, and that the proposed text amendment is in the public interest to provide reasonable zoning ordinance standards for the regulation of medical cannabis facility uses within corporate limits of the village. The second finding of fact is that the setbacks for medical cannabis facility uses, as illustrated on the study map exhibit, are reasonable and appropriate for protecting the existing land uses and the residents of the village, as well as protecting those persons that are employees of other uses in the village and their customers, and other visitors to the village, and these zoning ordinance regulations will be harmonious with and in accordance with general objectives of the comprehensive plan and the zoning ordinance of the village. And finally, number 3, that the area outside the setbacks for potential locations for medical cannabis uses is within the village's Office, Research, and Development District, OR&D, and the inclusion of these types of medical cannabis facility uses in the OR&D district as special uses is appropriate and consistent with the zoning ordinance and procedures for other special uses in the village.
I move that we accept the findings of facts as presented.
Second.
If I could, I would suggest that in addition to accepting the findings of fact, also recommend that the proposed zoning ordinance be approved by this board and that recommendation be taken to the village board.
I adjust my recommendation or my motion to include the recommendation that this board passes.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Darrenowski,
Aye.
Kreese,
Aye.
Duberstein, Daley,
Aye.
and Hine. Motion carried.
At this time, we would take public comments. Is there anyone wishing to address the board or the zoning board on this topic? And if so, you should have filled out a green form and provided it to the clerk. No takers? Okay. At this time, I ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, meeting closed at 7:08 p.m.
Who motion, Flo or John?
Jen.
I always have a hard time.
You guys need to yell. Yeah, Mike.
Thank you.
The Village of Hainesville regular board meeting for Tuesday, January 13th, 2015 will now come to order at 7:09 p.m. If everybody will please rise and I'll lead us in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Still here.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Here.
Kreese.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Daley.
Present.
And Hine. Here.
Okay, and again, we are in quorum, and Kevin is detained due to an appointment. I have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein. Daley.
Aye.
And Hine. Aye. Motion carried.
And are there any public comments for the village board? Any takers, Madam Clerk?
No. Sorry.
Okay. Next item up is the omnibus vote agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Daley.
Aye.
And Hine. Aye. Motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to reports and communications, starting up with our village engineer, Greg Bruin. And Greg has a special report, and you give John a nod and he'll dim the lights for your PowerPoint when you're ready, Greg.
All right, sounds good. It's only be about a minute or so here.
Okay.
The only other thing I want to talk about, aside from the maintenance plan, is that we completed the Cranberry Lake resurfacing project, and on the omnibus vote agenda were the pay requests for Peter Baker. So those are the final pay requests for that job. So we're not going to see any more additional invoices for that Cranberry Lake resurfacing project. One item that I did a little bit of research on was the warranty associated with these MFT projects. And due to their methods and lobbying efforts of the contractors, there actually is no warranty associated with MFT projects. So our final payment, we did have a representative out there pretty much every day to inspect the work. We also had testing reports from independent third-party testing facilities. So we're comfortable recommending final approval for the Peter Baker work.
Because you're going to warranty it, right?
I did not say that.
But we know where to find you, Greg.
With that, we'll move on to our pavement maintenance study that we completed, and I'll just go over, you can dim the lights.
Okay.